I'm starting to see lots of opportunities for property investment in London where the deals really stack up, but I believe you do need to take a slightly different approach. And so today, let's talk about where to buy in London and also what kind of deals you should really be looking for. Hi, my name is Tony Daw from Your First Four Houses, and I teach people how to build a small property portfolio that generates a great income for them so they can give up the day job if they wish, because they're now financially free. If this is your first time here, be sure to subscribe to the channel and click that bell notification icon so that you don't miss out on any of the free content that I give you each and every week. Over the past 2 decades, the population of London has been growing by roughly 100,000 people a year. So there's obviously, therefore, a huge demand for pretty much every type of accommodation. But also, obviously, it's not a cheap place to invest. And if you live in London, I'm sure you already know that. And there's currently some real concerns about whether values of properties in London are going to be dropping. So could this mean a fantastic opportunity for you to get out there and grab some really great deals that are going to give you a really good cash flow? So today I want to share a few ideas that are going to help you find those really great deals. And let's start off by considering where to buy in London. I honestly think that the location that you ultimately choose should really depend on the strategy that you're following. So for example, if you're looking at single buy-to-let type units, I honestly think you're going to want to find the best yields or the best return on investment that you can for the investment that you're buying. So maybe check out the Portico Yield Heat Map. This is a fantastic little tool and it will show you really quite accurately where you can get some great yields, although you should always do your own due diligence. And I'll put the link to this in the description box below. Or if you're looking for HMOs, honestly, you need to focus on, I would suggest, where there is a tremendous demand. Because in some areas of London, the demand is absolutely huge. As an example, I was just looking at Lewisham as just one particular area, and there's currently 146 rooms available, but there's nearly 4,400 people looking for rooms. Honestly, that's just mad. Huge demand means less viewings, it means less voids, and of course, you're going to be able to probably get a better income on that property. Other obvious things to consider would be things like the transport links in the area, the local employers, especially if you're looking at HMOs, facilities that are around the property that you're looking to buy. Also, maybe you could consider looking for commercial opportunities. Rather than residential, could you maybe invest in some office space or some warehousing or maybe some shops? The cost per square metre can be considerably less than the same cost per square metre on a residential type property. Or better yet, could you maybe convert a commercial property into residential? Now, there's some real advantages to this type of strategy. So you could maybe convert a shop into residential. There's some planning and some tax advantages. These include VAT and stamp duty, although speak to your accountant about this. You've got to get out there and walk the streets. I know I talk about this a lot. One quick example, I was recently up in Barnet because I'm originally from Potters Bar, which is just outside the M25. And I was in Barnet and I was walking around Barnet and I found some fantastic opportunities, like loads of them, just by walking around and looking for potential properties where I could add real tangible value. Now, I'm not suggesting that any of these are actually on the market at the moment, but when you find a place where you can clearly add some substantial value, make sure you've got some little leaflets with you. Ideally handwritten, I would always suggest, although I don't like using yellow paper. I know a lot of people do that. I just use normal white paper, but they look like they're handwritten. And you're going to go and put those through the property that you're actually thinking of buying. Now, obviously, probably it's not going to be on the market now, but will they be selling a little bit down the line? Maybe so. But you're then going to put that property onto a spreadsheet and you're going to follow up forever. Just keep writing to that property and at some point down the line they will sell. If you do this enough, you may have loads of properties on your spreadsheet and ultimately this will start to generate some really good potential deals for you. Also, if you're walking around the streets, A, look for empty houses, but also don't assume when you walk past a potential site and it's maybe got some signage up there, but no one's working on it for about a year. Don't assume that somebody's actually doing that deal. Make your own inquiries. Don't just sort of walk on by and say to yourself, well, obviously somebody's already doing that particular property. Don't assume that. Download the title deeds, write to the owner, and maybe start an interaction with the owner, because maybe you can get a fantastic deal where others have just walked by. Work with existing landlords. Goodness knows, there is so much negativity out there at the moment in the landlord type community. Of course, you are probably fully aware of this. Tax changes, legislation changes, changes in demand in some areas. Many landlords, to be really honest, they're kind of throwing the towel in. This could be a huge opportunity for you. And there are a number of ways that you can help these landlords to create a win-win deal. A deal that works firstly for them, I would always suggest, but also works absolutely fantastically for you. I don't want to get too heavy here, but this could be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to connect with those landlords who are really unsure about what they want to do moving forwards. Maybe they're going to think about retiring early. So you've got to take a whole load of action to connect with these. Lastly, can I encourage you to think outside the box? What do I mean by that? Well, there's a number of things we could talk about here. But what about maybe taking that house and converting it into 2 or 3 flats? I've done that. It can create a fantastic return on investment. I'd also encourage you in London to maybe start thinking a little bit smaller. There are some amazing properties out there, or tiny homes as I call them, and I love tiny homes, with some really amazing design ideas that have been incorporated into them to make these tiny homes work fantastically well. But ideally, you want to try and get a place that's going to be bigger than 30 square meters, because if it's less than 30 square meters, then in many areas it can become unmortgageable. Also, learn how to use creative solutions and find and help truly motivated sellers. This is a fantastic way to get real equity in properties, but also create some really great win-win solutions. And it's certainly how I started out investing. If this type of strategy interests you, can I suggest clicking here and checking out my free mini course, because I cover this extensively and it's completely free. Could you maybe buy with friends who are also in the same kind of boat? Maybe you sort of pool your resources. But if you're going to do this, please do it legally. Please go to a solicitor, get it all drawn up properly with a contract. A handshake simply isn't good enough. Also, while we're talking about thinking outside of the box, I've got to ask the question, do you really have to invest in London at all? Don't get me wrong, there are obviously lots of opportunities in London. That's the kind of point of this video. But if you're not tied to London, are there maybe some better deals outside of the capital? In my completely free online property mini course, I can teach you how to build a small property portfolio that generates a great income for you, but importantly, without needing to put in big deposits. Simply click the link here to find out more.